What's up? What's up? Straight from the chest. Guys, my name is Justin Groth, and I'd like to thank you for giving me your listening ear and welcome. For those of you that are new, guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. For those of you that are old, thank you for staying with me all these episodes. It means a lot to me. And guys, I'm going to ask you to do me one favor. If you find value in the things that I say in this podcast, please do me one favor and just extend it to a friend or family member. It'll help me out a lot to get my word out. Guys, I'm indebted to you because of the time you give me. You'll never get that back. And so that's something that I really take wholeheartedly and I take very serious. And so I thank you for giving me your listening ear. It means a lot to me. It's raining today, and for those of you that have been knowing me and been watching this podcast, you know that I love the rain. I love it. And on top of it, it's not really safe to go anywhere. So I'm just like cuddled up in my home, and I just love it. I just love staying home. I'm an introvert and an extrovert. You know, I know it's kind of it might be what do you call it? I can't think of it. But anyways, I'm an introvert and extrovert. And I love socializing. I love it. I love socializing and talking to people. I love communicating. At the same time, I also love my private time. I love to just do nothing. I love to watch certain TV series, a couple episodes, 3 episodes. I don't really binge a whole lot, to be honest with you, but I really do like to just stay at home and have those days, especially when it's raining. That's when I really stay in. I love to stay in the rain, drink coffee, and just watch TV. I love it, man. And, because it's not safe to go out, not too many people are going out and doing anything because of the coronavirus, and, they're staying safe. Excuse me, especially the older folk. But, hey, man, I'm just waiting to be quarantined, to be honest with you. Let it happen. I'm going to quarantine and chill. That seems like a good time, man. I'll do my workouts at home. I don't care. Let's do it, man. But in all seriousness, this is a pretty big time right now. And, I know we've been hearing about it. We've been seeing it. And although it's in its infancy, the reality is that this is going to affect us a little bit. And if it doesn't affect you because you have a strong immunity and you have, you're young and vibrant and got a lot of vigor and health to fight this certain virus off, if you end up getting it, the reality is it might affect people that are close to you. And if that's the case, I don't care who you are, whether it affects you directly or not. If it affects somebody that's your close kin, you panic like if it was you. And for those of you that, I'm in your boat. Let me back up. I'm in your boat. Like, I don't like to put too much emphasis on this whole thing because, first of all, I think it's a defense mechanism in all of us to kind of to downplay or dumb something out because we don't really want to face the reality of what it could be or what it could do. So I get that. But when you listen to the experts, and I'm not talking about news, when you just listen to some of the experts talk, and it could be on the news that you hear these people, but they're not magnifying it as something that it's not. They're telling you facts. And the facts are what the facts are. Now, at the end of the day, you could look at this as something that is, it's nothing until it gets really big and then it affects you or it affects somebody in your family, God forbid. Or you can take necessary precaution now. And I'm not really either of those, to be honest with you. I'm kind of right in the middle. But I think the reason why I'm more neutral, or not neutral rather, I'm not worrying or I'm not freaking out about anything is because there's something that I hold true to my heart, and it's if you have been listening to my podcast, you know that I'm a spiritual religious person. I'm a Christian. I'm a human at the end of the day, But at the end, but also at the same end of the day, I gotta know that there's someone bigger, God, taking care of all of this and knowing that this is happening and knowing it's nothing new to him. He's been knowing this is going to happen for quite some time. And I know you're probably saying, if you're a God believer and you're kind of flagrant on the God believing aspect, you're probably thinking now, oh yeah, there's not a God, because if God was real, why would he allow this to happen? Let me tell you why he allows it to happen, Jack. He allows it to happen because you're fucking up too bad. We're all fucking up too bad. And this is the reality of it. We're coming so far away from who God is and what we should be in alignment with God that we need something like this to scare us into our seats. We need this. You don't think we need this? We need this. We need this for the aspect of our salvation. Okay, 1. And 2, we need this because we're so departed and so segregated in all of in an entire world that we need something like this to communitize again and come back in unity. And there's something that's weird that happens when there begets a position of crisis. People come together. It's crazy. People come together. In the time that you may have somebody that you hate, stole your necklace 5 years ago, you've never got over it. I understand. But it's something that when a crisis happens, it's something that you overlook at that time, to come together with that person or persons that have maybe done you wrong. Because it's something crazy and strange about humans is they know how to unitize when they're in dire needs. They know. And if anything, this particular time is the perfect opportunity to do so. Not only that, it's the perfect opportunity for you to get scared and understand you can't fight this on your own. You can't fight every single day in your own peace. You need a peace outside of you. You need a joy outside of you. You need a faith outside of you. So it may not be like our situation with this world. It may not be a catastrophic earthquake. It may not be, I don't know, whatever your mind can go to. It showed up in the sense of a virus that's being downplayed for, I understand why, right? We went back to the defense mechanism that we normally go to because we want to downplay something. It's just a defense mechanism. It's just like when we are talking angrily to somebody or we're being obtuse to somebody. It's because we're projecting our own insecurities. I think that has a lot of relevance in what we're doing now with the whole pandemic of the virus. We're kind of downplaying because we don't really want to believe this shitstorm that it could bring potentially. And I get it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's going to play out the way it plays out. Most likely it'll just run its course until we develop an immunity for it, and then we'll be able to have that immunity and pass it down through our lineage to like the flu was. But here's the thing. We're looking at this like, oh my gosh, end of the world. It's not. What it is doing is reunitizing us as a nation to come together and help and do things that we wouldn't normally have done if we didn't have something like this that was curated. 2, most importantly, it's bringing people back in alignment with God where they should have been in the first place. Now, I'm not negotiating with you on this. I don't care if you want to say, well, and you start to fragment out who God is or dismantle what God is, or I'm not hearing that. If that is you, turn me off right now. I don't care to talk to you. That's God's job. I'm much more aggressive and unforgiving, even though I shouldn't be. I should be more forgiving, and I try to display that, but it's hard. It's hard when you've got a passion and fire in your spirit, you don't want to negotiate. You want to just, for lack of a better term, react. Because people need to be taught. And sometimes I'm not their teacher. Sometimes I don't teach the best. Because a lot of times I like to just ignite and I like to flame. I don't want to sit back and negotiate and hear your side. I'm going to tell you that you need to be under God, period. And if you don't believe in God, I think it's God's job at that point to just get through to you through a different person, because I'm not your person. I'm not going to sugarcoat things, and I'm not going to tell you, or I'm not going to listen to you and placate you for the second and listen to your side. I'm going to tell you that this is something that you need. You need your salvation. So if anything, this time in life is saving you from your imminent death and afterlife. I believe in that. I believe in a heaven and a hell. Also, turn me off if you don't believe in heaven and a hell, because that shit is real. But in this time right now we're going through, it's natural to fear. I do it too. And I'm a saved Christian. I still fear. I still fear because I don't know what's on the other end. But what I do know is that God knows what's going on, and he knows how to get us out of this. There's been many, many other times in humanity, let's call it, that things have arose and been horrifying and horrible and wiped out cities and villages, etc., etc. We came out of it. We'll come out of this one. It's also going to take its course, but we'll come out of it, guys. And you're only going to come out of it better if you seek Jesus in the opportunity that is abundant right now. You can't handle this on your own. You probably stress out at night. You think about it over and over. You worry. You need something for that. You need a medicine for that. The only medicine that's going to cure you is God and having a relationship with God. I'm not saying you need to start now, open your Bible up and start reading the entire Bible. I'm talking about you need to start with prayer. You need to just start with opening yourself up to God and just asking him in. That's it. You need to just ask him in and say, look, man, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what to think. I don't want to worry, but I do want to worry. I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do. Guide me, navigate me. That's all you got to say. That's all you got to do. He wants you to come to him organically. You can come to him frustrated. You can come to him upset. He gave you all those emotions to feel. He already understands you. Let me tell you something, a little secret that you might not understand yet. Everything that you think, he already knows. If you don't like Sally because of her haircut and you like the way her face looks, he already knows it. He already knows. You're not telling him something he doesn't know. He wants you to come into agreement with him that you're going to try to get better, that you know that you have faults and you have blunders, but look, you want him to resurrect the good in you because you know it's there. He already knows all your mistakes, man. He already been knowing the fact that you don't like that person and the fact that you maybe want something bad to happen to that person. But he's the way to make you right. And he's the way to make you to give you peace and to give you hope and to give you faith. But you got to seek him. And right now, this is a perfect opportunity too. Because things are going to happen that we have no control over. That you did at one time. Think about, you had control over what you were going to buy at the store. Now you don't. And that's just one. Took that for granted. We all did. I did too. And if things get worse, what are you going to do? You can't rid this on your own. You need God. Now let's go back to the point of when I said, God already knows what's going on. And you're probably sitting there thinking, there's not a God. There's not a God if he allows this to happen. Let me tell you, yes, there is. And the reason why he's allowing us to go on is because he wants you to come back to him because he cares so much about you. If you were God and you you were another person on this planet, you wouldn't give a shit about what you were doing because you kept denying. And you know, after some period of time, you're going to be like, well, fuck it, let him go. That's not how God is. Thank you, Lord. That's not how you are. If the tables were reversed, you wouldn't give as many breaks to your friend or to a person that God gives you. Thank God that he has an unconditional forgiveness for you. It's not one to be toyed with, or it's not one to be taken for granted, but thank God. Because if the roles were reversed, guaranteed, after 4 times that person messes up, you'd be like, well, just bye. I don't care no more. But God's not doing that. And he's trying to scare you back into alignment with him. Not on purpose, but this is an opportunity for you to get back together with your Creator where you should have been, where we all should have been in the first place. I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I don't mess up, because I do. And I get pulled astray too, just like you. But I'm also telling you that the only thing that's going to get me through this, especially if it affects anybody of my kin or close to me, it's going to be him. It's going to be me putting my faith and my hope and getting peace back in return from him. The enemy is using something to destroy us, to distract us. But God can turn the ashes for beauty. He can. And he can do something positive in this. It's a challenge. It's a trial. We will get through this. But out of it can come something bigger and more prizing than you came into it with. And that's your salvation. That's a new developed personal relationship with him. That's something that you cannot curate on your own. You need him to develop it with you. And this is an opportunity, but you're looking at it in defense mode. You're looking at it as a complete You're looking at it as a complete, I'm losing my words. You're looking at it as an invasion. God, you're invading me. I was just fine before. I was fine. I was doing my thing. You weren't fine. And if you were, there were other people that were not fine. And that need God. And that need the opportunity to be scared out of their trousers. I can't believe I just said trousers. Scared out of their pants, out of their wits, to get back into focus with him. So this is a good thing. It may not be good right now, but it's going to be good for the entire rest of our eternity. Or the entire rest of our life, rather. But we need scare tactics like this. There's a silver lining in this, guys. The silver lining is A, your salvation. B, we unitize again as an entire nation. And C, that we become stronger and more resilient in the process when it's done and completed. This is the stuff I talk about on the podcast over and over and over again. We're now coming into a reality of it. This is your chance. This is your chance to turn things around. This is your chance to come into alignment with him. This is your opportunity. I know it's inconvenient, but sometimes we need the inconvenience to see the opportunity. That's the silver lining here.